Today I want to yap about Destiny 3, as it's been kind of a hot topic a little bit recently. It's always a hot topic if we're being honest, but there was that one podcast clip about, it was like 3 guys, and they were talking about how they don't know why Bungie didn't do Destiny 3 instead of doing Marathon, which, like, in their defense, I agree. But we're past that point now, can't change it. And then also because of the release of Destiny Rising, like Destiny 3 has been a bit of a topic because it's like, oh, look at all these look at all the features Rising has that, like, and look at all the things Rising does better than actual Destiny does. Like if we had Destiny 3, all this stuff would happen and whatnot, right? But I always find myself kind of conflicted when we have the Destiny 3 conversation, because I feel like Destiny 3 would work in certain ways and it would not work in other ways. Like, there are certain ways where it would be really good and there's other ways where it would be really bad, right? From like a marketing perspective, undeniably, Destiny 3 is probably like one of the most overpowered things that Bungie could do. And when it comes to like getting players back into the game and bringing new players on board, because like the marketing, like for whatever reason, and like Overwatch 2 is the same situation. It doesn't matter what you do, if you slap a new number on the game, people come back. I don't know why that happens, but like we literally saw with Overwatch 2, and not that like Destiny 2 to Destiny 3 would be the same as like Overwatch to Overwatch 2, but it's to illustrate the point. I'm trying to basically illustrate the point that like if you put a new number on the box, like people show up. So from a marketing perspective, D3 is genius. I wouldn't even call it genius, actually. It's like doesn't take a brain surgeon to see like, oh yeah, like this thing that would bring hundreds of thousands of new players to the game and returning players to the game. Like, that's a good idea. It's like, yeah, it doesn't really take a brain surgeon, right? Where I'm concerned though is if we look at something like Destiny 3, I feel like there's these like automatic, and this is one of the hesitations I have whenever the Destiny 3 conversation happens, is whenever people talk about Destiny 3, they almost talk about it with this like automatic assumption that it'll fix all of the current problems that exist in the Destiny franchise right now. Where, you know, like, you guys get what I mean? Like, there's a lot of problems that Destiny currently has, and they're very complex problems that don't have a very obvious solution, and I think it's a little naive to make the assumption that if Bungie made D3, that, like, they automatically have this like clairvoyance and insight into how to fix every problem that Destiny currently has, and D3 is what's necessary to implement all those solutions because they're unimplementable in D2. Like, you guys picking up what I'm putting down? That's always my concern with this conference, because it's like, I mean, as we saw when we went from D1 to D2, D2's launch was horrendous. Like, the game was 3 weeks, or the company was 3 weeks away from, like, shutting down. The servers were, like, 3 weeks away from shutting down because the base game of D2 and what followed was, and it's like, and I know people will be like, oh, that's just because Curse of Osiris was bad. It's not just because Curse of Osiris was bad. Anyone who played back then knows that year 1 Destiny 2, vanilla Destiny 2, was very subpar from like a long-term perspective. It was sick for the first like 2 weeks, right? But that's to be expected. Big campaign. All these new planets. All these new systems. All these new guns. New raids. Like, it's always going to be huge. And, you know. So my concern is... I mean, I have a lot of concerns, right? One of my concerns is cosmetics, right? I think that's such a big one to consider. Because, I mean, and people will say like, oh, well, we didn't really care when we moved from D1 to D2, and no one was complaining about cosmetics not moving over there. And it's like, well, my counterpoint to that would be like, compared to like current day Destiny, like we didn't really have that many cosmetics back then. I mean, heck, weapon ornaments only existed in Destiny 1 for a year. Weapon ornaments weren't a thing until Rise of Iron. Which is, like, that's a big difference in, like, mindset from, like, losing all your, like, I mean, dude, imagine if, you know, going to Destiny 3, like, we lose every emblem, we lose every emote, we lose every shader, we lose every weapon ornament, we lose every exotic ornament, we, like, that's kind of tough, no? I just think it's something worth thinking about before we... Like, because I have no doubt that a lot of people wouldn't have that big of a problem saying goodbye to all their armor and weapons and stuff like that, because we have done that once already. But back in the day, like, we said goodbye to 1 year worth of cosmetics. And, like, not even that many cosmetics, honestly, because, like, Destiny was still trying to figure out its microtransaction situation. Like, I mean, every single thing in this tab right here would go away. And this tab. All of these gone. All of these gone. All of these gone. All of these emblems. All of your contest mode emblems. All of your solo flawless emblems. All of the emblems that you gifted a sub for. All of the watch time emblems. All of the movie of the week emblems. All of these shaders. Every single one of these shaders that you worked for, that you worked to earn. I mean, there's pages on pages. All these shaders that you bought, a lot of these you probably bought. All these transmat effects. I know no one cares about transmat effects. Finishers. Emotes, dude. Emotes are such a big one. Saying goodbye to every single emote. Oh my god. Oof. Ugh. God. Whew. But hey. You know, at the end of the day, gameplay is more important than cosmetics. I get that. So it's like, you know, you want to make the argument, well, it's like, oh, hey, Mac, if Destiny 3 can fix all these major gameplay problems, then it's worth it, right? And I would say, yeah, I would agree that it's worth it. But I do have a question in response to that argument that I already know people are going to make, and that question is, what could Destiny 3 do to fix the game or make the game better or add better things? What can be done in Destiny 3 that cannot simply be done in Destiny 2? Because that is another hesitation I always have whenever people are like, let's do D3. I always say, okay, well, my concern there is, if there's a certain thing that would significantly improve the franchise, or significantly improve Destiny, why do they have to make it, why do they have to go to Destiny 3 to be able to do that thing? Why would it not be able to be done in Destiny 2? And that could literally everything. Clan housing, why can't it be done in Destiny 2? Sparrow racing, why can't it be done in Destiny 2? Blah, 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 this, that, why can't it be done in Destiny 2? Or rather, I guess a better way to phrase the question would be, if it can't be done in Destiny 2, what makes you assume that it could be done in Destiny? Like, why does the number 3 magically unlock that capability for us to be able to do something that we can't do in 2? Bring original content. D2 is so reskinned. Bro, if you think for a single second that Bungie would not, over a 10-year period, not recycle every single piece, or every single likable piece of D2 content into D3, you're crazy. You are crazy. I give it 5 years maximum before I go unlock Galahorn for the 3rd time. I give it 5 years maximum before we're playing reprised Vault of Glass. Can't wait to do the world's first race for Vault of Glass for the 3rd time. And so, like, my thing is with this Destiny 3 conversation is, like, if we're just gonna go to 3 to do all of the things that could have been done in 2, and then slowly recycle everything from 2 and bring it forward into 3, then why are we going to 3? That's my thing. I think it's more about something new. Everyone started over again, brand new original. And I get that, right? And I'm on board with that. I think that is a good, right? The idea of something new, the idea of everyone starting over, the idea of all this, you know, all that, I'm 100% on board with that, right? But again, I raise the question, why, if they would be able to do that in Destiny 3, why would they not be able to do that in Destiny 2? Why, what is stopping them from resetting everyone's power level and then doing a brand new story saga, right? Oh, wait a minute. You guys picking up what I'm putting down? We did start over. From a power level and a grind perspective, we all just got set back down to 10, and everyone hated it. We had a brand new story that had nothing to do with the original story. It's all about the 9. Like, are you telling me if we did these things in Destiny 3 instead, they would be better? And if so, why? I mean, I thought it was great. I also thought it was great. I also thought it was great. And you might go like, oh, well, Mac, it was a poor execution, right? The power grind in the portal is very boring. You're spamming the exact same activity over and over again. And again, then I go back to, why do we assume it would have been any different in Destiny 3? Why do we assume it would be any different in Destiny 3? D3 would give new players to understand the game and its mechanics. Why? Why would people magically understand the game's mechanics better if it was Destiny 3 instead of Destiny 2? Because it would be new and fresh? What is stopping them from taking that same new and fresh content? Like, okay, here. Let me back up a second. Right? And this is why I always hate having the conversation about Destiny 3, because the Destiny 3 conversations are always just, it's all just buzzwords. Every single time I try to have the Destiny 3 conversation with someone, it's just buzzword city. It's like, well, it would be new and fresh. It's like, no, like I want specifics. I want concrete, paint me the picture. Paint me the picture. I want to sit on this question for a second, right? Because every time I have this conversation, and again, I'm not like anti-Destiny 3, right? I'm not anti-Destiny 3. I understand the merits of it from like a marketing perspective and a mental perspective. I do. Like this idea of like, oh, we're leaving everything behind. It's like, I get it. I get it, right? And my concern is, whilst I think that's insanely effective, whilst I think that's insanely effective for the first 2 weeks, my concern is that what would happen, here's my biggest concern about the Destiny 3 situation. It would be a big band-aid to tear off and leave it all, but it would work. Why, though? Why? No. You don't just get to say, but it would work, and that's your argument. Like, that's not... No. We're debating right now. We are currently engaged in debate. You don't get to just rip, but it would work. Why? Why would it work? What specifically would D3 have? Are you a master at debating? I am a master debater. I mean, it's just common sense. Bro, I'm sorry, but you have to be outed for this. You said, and I quote, I mean, Mac, it's just common sense. And you used the wrong sense. Like, my man. You just argue the opposite of your points. You are not making your argument more compelling. You actually did the opposite. So, okay, so is it common sense or common dollars? That's what I want to know. So, here's my concern, right? Here's my concern. Sorry, back up. My concern is... Here's my concern. Can we all agree that for Bungie to be able to make Destiny 3 at this point, they would basically need to ignore Destiny 2 for multiple years to be able to put those development efforts into Destiny 3 specifically, so that they have enough people working on Destiny 3 so that they can make enough content for it to actually justify the number 3 and go into a new game? Like, can we all agree on that? Can we all agree that, like, it would take... Can we all agree that at this point, right? I know a lot of people will be like, well, if they just made Destiny 3 instead of making Marathon, then we would have... I agree. But that's in the past now. Can't change the past. I'm talking about how do we go forward from here, right? It'd take years. It'd take years, and Destiny 2 would suffer while they do that. It would absolutely suffer. Because they wouldn't be able to add any amounts of meaningful content to Destiny 2. Because they would have to focus all their efforts on Destiny 3, right? So here's my concern. My concern is they take... Let's be generous, right? Let's say that they go pedal to the metal and they go crazy, bro. They somehow figure out how to make enough content for Destiny 3 in 1 year. Somehow they go berserk. They go out of their minds. They say, hey guys, we're working on Destiny 3. There will be no new content in Destiny 2 for a year. That'd be a crap game. Okay, then... I was trying to be generous. How many years do you guys give them? 2 years? 3? I don't know. How long does it... How many years of completely ignoring Destiny 2 and focusing all efforts on Destiny 3 would it take? I don't know why I'm asking this question. None of us know. None of us have any clue. Not a single one of us has developed Destiny for a single second in our lives. This is a pointless thing to ask. We're a bunch of people who have never... Like, no disrespect, most of y'all have never most of y'all have never even written Hello World. Let alone made anything in any video game. So, it doesn't... Us estimating how long it would take. Let's say best case scenario. Let's say that the stars align and Zeus himself descends from the heavens to give Bungie the ancient forbidden knowledge to speed up the dev time on everything by a magnitude of 10, right? And let's say they come out and they're like, hey guys, we are ceasing all development efforts on Destiny 2 while we work on Destiny 3. It will take us 1 year. There will be 0 new Destiny content for a year. For a year. Zeus ain't that nice, though. Fine, 2 years. Zeus is nice, he ain't that nice. 2 years. We'll say 2 years, right? So, we get 0 new Destiny content in any capacity until September 2nd, 2027. And on September 2nd, 2027, Destiny 3 releases. Here's my concern, right? Over that 2-year period, what's going to happen to the Destiny player base? What is going to happen to the Destiny player base if there is 0 new content being released in any capacity? What's going to happen? Which, you could make the argument that the game's already bleeding players. Sure, right? But I think we can all agree that the rate of player bleed, if they just stopped making stuff while they went and worked on Destiny 3, would be like, in a couple months, you wouldn't be able to find a team for a raid. Maybe you could make the argument that you can't find a team for a raid right now anyway, but I would argue that's less because of low player counts and more because their raids aren't rewarding, but in any case. My concern is that they do that, right? They abandon all Destiny development on the live game to go and make Destiny 3, and then they launch Destiny 3, right? And it had the first 2 weeks. Oh my god, this new story is so good. All these planets are so good. Oh my god, the new raid is so good. Oh my god. It's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece, baby. New players are coming. Returning players are coming. Oh my days, it's the Destiny I always knew it could be. And then a month passes. 2 months pass. And then all those players, 90% of those players, gone again. Why? The content's not replayable enough. The power grind, I'm already max power, I don't need to play anymore. Or the power grind's boring. Or there's no new campaign missions, there's no new story. The point I'm trying to make is, the issues that we have with Destiny seem to always ebb and flow. They always ebb and flow. It's always game is dead, game is saved, game is dead, game is saved, game is dead, game is saved, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So again, the question that I ask, and again, I'm not anti-Destiny 3. I'm simply skeptical. I am skeptical. And I don't want to Hail Mary the entirety of the Destiny franchise on maybe Destiny 3 would fix everything. Because if you take 2 years off of making content for the live game and then throw out Destiny 3, and it's not like the greatest slam dunk in the history of gaming, that doesn't seem like a risk that's worth it. So the question that I ask is, what can Destiny 3 do? I'm asking for specifics, right? This is my thesis statement, right? This is my thesis question, right? What can Destiny 3 do that can maintain players long-term that is impossible to implement into Destiny 2? What would Destiny 3 be able to accomplish and be able to provide that would maintain players long-term that we have to move to Destiny 3 for them to be able to do it, because it cannot be done in Destiny 2? That's what I want to know. And the reason I'm so stuck on that question is because I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything that they could do. I don't have an answer. And so I asked this question because I'm wondering if the D3 advocates have an answer that I don't realize is there. Because it would, like, Bungie's developmental philosophies and design philosophies would not magically change when we go to Destiny 3, right? People always say, like, oh, well, the game would be all new and original content. And it's like there wouldn't be any recycled content. It's like, really? Why? Why not? It's Bungie making it. They've recycled basically every single thing in Destiny 1 and put it into Destiny 2. Why would they not do the same thing with Destiny 2's content into Destiny 3? Like, why? If it was the same shell of a game, but new, somehow it would work. But here's my thing, Schmengus. That's not, you're not giving me anything, bro. Every single pro Destiny 3 point you've had when I ask you this question is, oh, trust me, it would work. Somehow it would work. They'd figure out a way to make it, how? What could D3 do that cannot be done in D2? Because, like, the only thing for me is, like, the only thing that D3 can do in my eyes that cannot be done in D2 is the marketing sauce. Hey, it's 3 now, baby. And without a doubt, that would bring in a lot of old players and bring in a lot of new players. Without a doubt. I am not contesting that whatsoever in any capacity. But would it keep them? And that's what I want to focus on, right? It would bring in hundreds of thousands of lapsed players and new players. But would it keep them? How would it keep them? And if you know how it would keep them, why can't instead we implement the solutions that would keep them into Destiny 2 and then simply just, like, rebrand Destiny 2 or do a massive marketing effort for Destiny 2? Because in my opinion, the problem at the current moment is the game cannot keep players. That's the current issue with Destiny, is it cannot keep players. And I don't see any reason to believe why Destiny 3 would be able to do something that would be significantly better at keeping players that is unimplementable in Destiny 2. You know what I mean? We just need to drop old gen? Why? How does dropping old gen make the game better? You're blocking yourself in with your own logic. The problems with D2 are what's blocking the growth. Okay, what are the problems with D2? And why do all of those problems magically go away if you go to Destiny 3? We have a sandbox that is 10 years old. They can't make sandbox changes. The solution to that, we have a 10-year-old sandbox, is to drop a nuclear bomb. Wait. So the solution to fixing a 10-year-old sandbox is getting rid of the sandbox? The sandbox changes all the time. And I'm like, you know? I do not think I am blocking myself in with my own logic. You haven't given me any tangible thing as to why Destiny 3 would be better than Destiny 2 in a way that cannot be done in Destiny 2. I can't speak words to you, I have to type. Okay, then take the words that you would speak to me and put them in the text box. That is a tough question in itself. Hey, I do not disagree. 100%. It's a very tough question. I would argue it's the hardest question. But I think it's the only one that matters. Because if Destiny 3 cannot do anything that cannot be done in Destiny 2, then what is the justification for moving to Destiny 3? That's what I'm asking. Because Destiny 3 doesn't automatically solve all of Destiny 2's problems. It just distracts you from them for a month because you're paying attention to the new story and the new destinations and the new characters and the new enemies and the new guns. But then what about when you're done being distracted? What about when the honeymoon phase of all of the new pretty planets wears off? All of the new characters wears off? All of the new stories wears off? Then you're left sitting with all of the core problems that you had back in Destiny 2 anyway, and we're in the exact same boat that we are currently in. And then how many years until the conversation sounds a little something like the only way to get away from Destiny 3's problems is to go to Destiny 4. And if you think about it, I mean, once we're in Destiny 4 and you see Destiny 4's problems, the only real solution to fix Destiny 4 problems is to go to Destiny 5. But honestly, why go to Destiny 5? We should just go to Destiny 6. Jupiter, thank you so much for the 50 months. 50 months of tier 3 eyes, tier sub you can be. I hope you are doing fantastic, Jupiter. So good to see you. That's like saying this car can go on a road, it can turn, it can drive and change gears, so why should I get a new car? The new car can't do anything this car can do? Doesn't make sense. That makes perfect sense to me. If I have a car that fits all of my needs and does everything that I need it to do, then yeah, I would not go buy a new car. My current car is 14 years old. It doesn't fit all of our needs. Okay, so I should go spend 50 grand to get a 2025 that ticks a couple more boxes? I mean... You just countered yourself. Yeah, I would not go get a new car. I just figured out the answer to the D2, D3 debate, Mac. Throw it down, throw it down. Bro, come on, you get what I'm saying? I understand exactly what you're saying, and I perfectly understand the point that you are making. I just do not agree with it. You are making yourself and your stance and your points explicitly clear. I understand exactly what is going through your mind and where you stand. I just do not agree. Because your stance does not contain points that are compelling. Why don't you agree? I need a rebuttal? Because you have not given me a single thing that justifies abandoning Destiny 2 and moving to Destiny 3 that is not predicated on buzzwords or, oh, humans like new things. That's not we're talking about core game design franchise long problems. Humans like new things is not the answer to solve. I'm not a game designer, though. Yeah, and I'm not a chef. But I can tell you if food tastes good or bad. Hey, this food's too salty. Needs less salt. I also don't like this analogy as well because food is not a one-to-one analogy of video games. Food is a bad analogy to video games. Oh, I like that one, Access. That is a good... The food is too salty. Time to build a new restaurant. Oh, that's actually good. I was gonna say I don't like the food analogy because video games can be changed where, like, with food, if you oversalt the food, then you can't just, like, pull the salt out, you know? Once you oversalt the food, it's too salty. You gotta make a new dish. Whereas video games, if you make a mistake, you can undo the mistake. Like, you can change whatever you want in a video game, because it's, you know? But I think that's more akin to the analogy I was going for, right? Oh my god, my car ran out of gas. It's time to buy a new car. But yeah, like I said, it is a really hard question. It is a really, really, really hard question. I don't deny that. It's an insanely hard question to answer. But to me, it's the number one most important question that matters. Because if you can't give a good justification, an ironclad justification for why moving to Destiny 3 would be significantly better for player retention than trying to improve the problems in Destiny 2, then I don't see a compelling reason for the long term. I'm thinking long term here. I'm not talking about getting a bunch of people back in for a month. I'm talking multi-year health of the game. Long term, I don't see a good justification for abandoning D2, abandoning 10 years worth of content, and cosmetics, and to go on a 2-year, probably more likely 3 or 4-year, dead period with no updates to the live game, just to go make Destiny 3. I don't see a good justification to do that if doing that does not fix any of your primary core problems. The biggest thing that Destiny 3 has going for it, in my eyes, as far as I can tell, is the... I don't... How would I put this into words? It would be like a combination of like the mental association that people would have with D3 in conjunction with the marketing. You guys get what I mean? The number one like argument for D3 for me is you would have so many people that were like, you would have so many people that would try it just because it's called D3. And I do think that has merits. That does have genuine merits, and that would absolutely happen. You would have hundreds of thousands of people that would give it a go for just because it's called Destiny 3. But my thing is, I think that's largely inconsequential if you are unable to retain any of those players. And how are you retaining all of those players if the game has all of the same issues that cause those players to leave in the first place? And if your argument is, well, Mac, they would just fix all of those issues, then my counterpoint and my question is, why can't they do that in D2? It's literally just logic. Yo, Schmeggis, I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything,
just
but...
because a dish is getting stale doesn't mean you chuck it in the bin. You don't scrap it. You wake it up. Take yesterday's roast chicken, turn it into a vibrant salad with fresh herbs and a squeeze of lemon, and suddenly it's a whole new bloody dish that sings again.
Oh. That was interesting. I'm not saying that to you, bro. I'm part of the conversation, though, man. Nothing you've said so far is logic. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but, like, all of your arguments are predicated on, like, feeling and emotion. You say we should do Destiny 3 because people like new things. Like, that's not... You know? You said we should do Destiny 3 because it would just work, trust me. Like, that's not logic. Is that not logic? No, no, it's feeling and emotion. It's not logic at all. You said, and I quote, it would work, trust me. That's what you said. That's not logic. You hit me with the trust me, bro. That's what you hit me with. You hit me with the trust me, bro. As a former debate coach, woo lad, there's some issues with some of the arguments in here. I love debate. I'm very passionate about debate. I think debate is so fun. Debate bangs. When you can have respectful debate that is predicated exclusively on the points that people are making, and you don't go for like personal jabs or anything like that. Like, debate is so fun. If I was in a Discord call, you would be able to better understand, but I'm typing and you're reading. The words you're saying wouldn't change if you were in a Discord call. You can take the same words that you would speak to me and type them. Yes, they would. Why? Wait. Why would the words that you are using to make your points change? Why would the words change if you were on a call? Just type the words that you would use in a call into the text box. Dude, that's a good idea. Use voice to text. Use voice to text. You know, do like, hey Siri, type, and then voice has inflection. I mean, that is true, but like, again, all of his points that he has been making are predicated on it would just work, trust me. Sten, thanks for the resub, by the way, for 4 months. And it's that Frank guy with the tier 3 for 10 months. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much. Highest tier sub you can be. And we got a hype train rolling as well, boys. I want you guys to pretend like you are pitching. You work at Bungie, and you are pro Destiny 3, and you have to pitch Destiny 3 to all the higher-ups. You got to pitch it to Justin Truman, the new CEO. You got to pitch it to the game director. You got to pitch it to everyone, right? You're going into the meeting, and they're like, all right, we need you to explain to us like why you think we should do Destiny 3, right? What would you tell them? And if someone types, it would work, trust me, bro, I am going to flip my desk into a 720 no-scope for you pretending like you would not get laughed out of that room. Cost, long-term, it should save a lot of money. Why? Would be their follow-up question. Why would it save a lot of money? That would be their follow-up. They say, why would it save a lot of money? I'm also curious why it would save a lot of money. Always has beer with the tier 3 for a year and a half on a year and a half streak. I'm not pro D3, but for me, the only reason I would want to see a D3 is new engine. Oh no. Oh no, not this conversation. The current engine isn't bad in any stretch of the imagination, but to me, there's been a clear and gradual growth of inconsistencies and problems with the current engine. So, my pushback on that is every single... I'm assuming you're talking about all the bugs that have been going on recently. That is not engine related in any capacity. That's because they laid off the majority of their QA team. Engine has nothing to do with that. I don't... Also, like, Bungie has already demonstrated that if they need to upgrade the game engine, they are capable of doing that mid-game if they really want to and need to. Because they did that in Beyond Light. They've already upgraded the engine mid-game once. If the engine limitations are inhibiting them to a degree where it is preventing the successful development of Destiny 2, then they would do a new engine. I don't like the engine conversations because not a single one of us has any idea what we are talking about because not a single one of us has worked with the Tiger engine. None of us know what it's capable of. None of us knows where it struggles. None of us knows where it falls. Like, we don't. None of us do. And I have a 4-year software development degree, and I worked as a corporate software developer for a Fortune 500 company for 5 years. And I have no idea what the engine does or what it's capable of or what it's not capable of. So, like, respectfully, if I have zero clue, I feel like most people, I feel like 99.9% of people in here also have zero clue. So I don't love that conversation because it's like just, none of us have any idea what we're talking about. None. Or without a doubt, there's likely some limitations of the engine, but because the reason I talk about this is because upgrading the engine isn't as simple as just like it's upgraded now. Like, it takes a while. So it's not the question of like, would upgrading the engine be better for the game? It's like, yeah, probably. The question is more so like, is the time investment is the time and resource investment that would be required to upgrade the engine, would that solve the primary existing problems of Destiny at the current moment? And my answer is no, because the primary existing problems of Destiny 2 are quality assurance related, which is a QA area, not an engine area, and they're design choice related, which is a decision problem, not an engine problem. They also, when they revamp the engine in Beyond Light, according to a lot of their devs, Hype Train Dead, by the way, official prediction, snuck that one in. Coming from someone without any dev experience whatsoever, wasn't sunsetting due to some limitations to the current engine? No, so this is actually a really interesting conversation. Sunsetting, or I think when you say sunsetting, you mean content vaulting? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that what you're saying? I think you're talking about content vaulting. I'm assuming you're referring to content vaulting. Yes, I meant content vaulting. Okay, so interesting thing about the content vaulting. The reason that so much content got vaulted, allegedly, but like this is pretty reliable information, is because when Bungie upgraded the engine in Beyond Light, they had to rebuild all existing Destiny 2 content in the upgraded engine. They had to redo all the physics on it, they had to redo all the lighting on it, they had to redo all of like the object, like they had to rebuild everything. Which kind of makes sense because we have heard from official Bungie sources that because of the engine upgrade, building a brand new map in Destiny 2 takes the same amount of build time as porting an old map into the game. Like a pre-Beyond Light map that got vaulted, it takes the same amount of time for that to be built because it's not they didn't retool it to work with the upgraded engine. So my hesitation whenever people are like, oh, new engine, it's like, dude, last time they did an engine upgrade or built a new engine, they had to vault 50% of the content. And the other 50% that did come forward required a significant amount of dev time because they had to rebuild all of it. And it's like, me personally, I would much rather have that time. Well, one, I would not like to say goodbye to 50% of the content again. And two, I would much rather have them spend that time rebuilding all of the old content in the new upgraded engine that they do again. I would much rather them spend that time just making brand new content and not have to say goodbye to the old content to get that. So it's actually kind of the reverse of what you thought, Frank. But again, we're kind of getting far away from the original conversation. Anyone who's pro D3, you go into a meeting with the Bungie higher-ups, right? You're telling them, hey, here's why we should do Destiny 3. Or you say, hey, we should do Destiny 3. And they hit you back with, hey, what can we do in Destiny 3 that justifies the risk for not developing Destiny content for 2 to 4 years? What can we do in Destiny 3 that saves us for the long-term health of the game and solves the long-term health problems that we cannot instead implement into Destiny 2? What's the response? SRL? One, does SRL fix everything? And two, why can they build SRL in Destiny 3, but they are technically incapable of doing it in Destiny 2? It's just like, I don't, like, again, I sound like a broken record, but, like, I want to make it explicitly clear that I'm just, like, I'm not, like, super, Hype Train Dead, by the way, official prediction. I got it with 5 seconds remaining. That's the easiest win for me ever. Frank gets one of the points, but I broke even. How about D3 Battle Royale? Oh my god, put him in charge. Put him in charge. I'm not, like, I know it sounds like I'm anti-D3, but I'm not. I'm just not sold. I'm not sold on this idea that it magically fixes all of the franchise-long problems that we've had. I think it covers them up for a month, and then we're back to dealing with them. You can't tell me that there are not innovation limitations with an 8-year-old game engine. Well, first of all, the game engine is 5 years old, not 8. And it's actually not even that old, because when they rebuilt it in Beyond Light, they specifically said that they rebuilt it in a way where they could make updates to it piecemeal. And it was built out for the long-term vision and long-term future of Destiny. So if you're gonna make arguments, make sure you do your research before you make them. Get debated. You just got debated on. Boom. That doesn't sound inappropriate, right? That couldn't be clipped out of context. Link to the TWAB talking about the upgrade to the engine in tier 3 chat. We can look at this. How many words is this going to be? Yeah, September 24th, 2020. Almost 5 years ago on the dot. Engine. With Beyond Light on fast approach, it's time to shift our TWAB gears a little. Today we're going to be talking through... Let me make sure I don't go into a heavy metal game. Today we'll be talking through some of the back-end changes that will be coming to Destiny 2 on November 10th. The guys through this process, we're passing the mic to Destiny Engineering Director, David Aldridge. Director! That guy's he probably knows what he's talking about. Pretty important. When Destiny 2 launched 3 years ago, we had no idea that in 2020 we'd announce a new trilogy of expansions. At the time, we thought Destiny 2's arc would look a lot more like Destiny 1, a couple of expansions, and then a sequel. We learned many lessons from the transition to Destiny 2, and from shipping Curse of Osiris, Warmind Forsaken, the Year 2 seasons, and Shadowkeep. When we evaluated those lessons, we decided not to pursue a Destiny 3, but instead to reinvest everything in Destiny 2 and make it all that it can be. To support that strategy, we've made several tech investments to help us sustainably evolve the game for years to come, and some of those investments are arriving in Beyond Light. Many of these changes are under the hood and won't affect your experience, but some may result in neat improvements, curious behavior differences, or bugs. This means that on November 10th, some places and things will feel a little like sliders. Only 90s kids will get this. I was born in 98. So... half a decade is still wild if the plans is that the current engine will scale for... You know what? Hold on. Unreal Engine 4 release dates. 2014. Unreal Engine 5 release dates. 2022. Unreal Engine 4 was 8 years old, and it seemed to be just fine. So I think it's just safe to say that maybe it's on a per basis or case-by-case basis, and that no game engine is a... Maybe we should just accept that, hey, maybe we should just accept that, like, when it comes to an engineering perspective and freaking game, like, again, like, listen, too hype. How many minutes of your life have you spent working on game engines? Like, it's just, I think it's safe to assume that we should probably leave the game engine decisions up to the people who specialize in game engines. I don't know, maybe that's a crazy thing to say. Anyway, we shifted our mission scripting model to run on the physics host instead of the mission. See, some of you have already stopped listening. I got halfway through that sentence, and some of you already just were like, oh my god. Physics host? Scripting model? No. Like, already, bro, I know. We shifted our mission scripting model to run on the physics host instead of the mission host. In the long run, this change will give designers options to create more novel mission mechanics by giving the mission scripting environment full access to the game state instead of the much more limited access to the mission host had. For example, the physics host knows exactly where enemy combatants are and what actions they recently performed, while the mission host only knew how many combatants were alive in a squad. And so, like, listen, and here's my thing with this stuff, right? Are these things, like, good improvements, right? Like, are these things nice? Like, do they make the game better? Yeah. But, like, is stuff like this fixing the current core issues of Destiny 2? Or the Destiny franchise as a whole? You know what I mean? Is like, oh my god. Guys, now the game knows exactly where the enemy combatants are and what actions they've recently done. Imagine the possibilities that opens up. It's like the current issue is that we're spamming Caldera over and over again. Like, how does, like... It's a design problem. There's a design decision problem. It's like... And here's another thing too, right? In Beyond Light, we're only launching the foundations of this system, and we look forward to evolving and leveraging it in the future. So it's, and this was 5 years ago. So, like, they're already evolving and leveraging these foundational systems that they remade in the Beyond Light upgraded engine 5 years ago. The engine is still getting tweaks. It's still being evolved. Like, they're still taking advantage of the new tech that they added and the new tech that they got access to in Beyond Light. Like, this idea that they upgraded the engine in Beyond Light and it's just, like, stood dormant for 5 years is not accurate as far as I can tell. So it's like, we've rebuilt our character face system. What you might notice, your Guardian's face may look a bit different. It's like, we relit portions of EDZ and Nessus. It's like, whoa! It's like it does upgrade, like, yes, upgrading an engine does provide improvements. Without a doubt. God, this is an old twab. For sure. But the thing is, does it solve any of the main franchise long-term problems that the game currently has? And it's just like, I don't think so. Like what? Like, because the current issues are like, raiding is not rewarding enough. The power grind is boring. People aren't as interested in the story. It's like a new engine doesn't fix any of that. These are design decisions. But I don't know. I just... Do you like... Do you guys... I'm curious if I just like... If I'm alone on this hill. or if people are like kind of understanding my perspective, and maybe if even some people are in the same boat as me. Do you guys understand my hesitation and skepticism towards a potential Destiny 3? Like, do you guys get where I'm coming from? Or are you guys just like, nah, like, this guy's crazy, like, just do D3, ta-da? Like, I'm just, like, I'm not anti-D3, but, like, I'm super skeptical of, like, we want to leave behind 7 years worth of content, cosmetics, armor, weapons, and probably go dark on the game for 2 to 4 years while the new one is made. Like, for what? For what? Why? That's my thing. Dude, I just outplayed that so hard. That is crazy. That's my thing. It's like, for what? So, I don't know. You guys know me. At the end of the day, I'm just yapping.